Well, good morning, school leaders. I hope you are all doing well and taking care of yourselves. My name is Jennifer Duston, and I'm a client partner for FranklinCovey Education. But not too long ago, I was sitting in your shoes about just 5 months ago. I was still leading a school as an elementary principal for the past 10 years. And being out here in California, I was blessed enough to be a school leader and lead my school through something that was very, very challenging. And I do look at it as a blessing. I look back in the California wildfires and having school closures and families that were evacuated from their homes and families that had lost their homes. It was very difficult, but I feel very proud of the work that we did and how we came together as a community. And I wouldn't trade that experience for the world. So I just wanted to hop on here today just to share a few things that really helped me personally in leading through crisis. Because let's just be honest, there's not a ton of people that are checking on the principal and asking how the principal is doing here in this crisis. They're kind of looking to you for answers, and you're there supporting families and working with the district leaders. So I just have a few things that might help. And the first one that really just was such a gift to me was really thinking about what was in my circle of control and what was within my influence. There's so many things in a crisis and a natural disaster that really just are out of your control. And just being very clear about those things. I had a family that was homeless because they were evacuated, and they couldn't go to homeless shelter because of their pet. So that was out of my control. I couldn't control the fact that they were homeless and didn't have a place to live. But I did have control over the resources that I had and the influence that I had. So with the help of working with some key people in my school community, we were able to raise some money for them and got some businesses on board. And we were actually able to raise enough money in just a few hours to pay for them to have a hotel, enough gas money to get out of the evacuation zone where the hotel was, got them meals, and they were safe. So I just urge you as you're leading through these uncharted times to really sit down and every decision you make, everything you go to spend your time on, really think about, is this something I have control over or not? And really just spend your time focusing on the things that are within your control. Think about the school resources you have. You don't have a lot of control over if school is going to be shut down for the rest of the year. You don't have a lot of control over the food resources that are available in your community, or the stock market, but you do have control of your resources. So think about how you're using those resources, and what you can do to support your school community during that time. So the next thing I really want you to think about is, how are you intentionally fostering your relationships and keeping your school culture and climate going? And I know that sounds weird, but we all know that school is not in just a building. You know, school is a feeling. It's the reason that kids miss school when they're gone. It's the reason that the minute you walk onto a campus, you can feel the school climate and culture. School really is a relationship. It's the people in the building. And in this day and age with social media, it's really easy to stay connected. And let me tell you, our kids need it. That was probably one of the biggest things that my parents said when we came back after being closed from the fires, was how grateful they were for my constant communication. So I would do a thing, and it was called a star challenge. And so every day would be a different challenge. One day was, maybe building something from recycled materials. Maybe one day it was doing a limp seat. One day it was reading to a sibling or a family member or a stuffed animal. But each day was different, and families were encouraged to upload videos and pictures of their challenges on our closed group Facebook. And if they felt comfortable, they did that. And let me tell you how great it was just to see our community come together and see everyone interacting again. and just feeling connected to school. And the kids really needed that. The kids are so unsure right now. They don't understand what's going on. They don't understand why they can't go to school. Um, Even just something as simple as you doing a quick Zoom like I'm doing today, and posting a daily message up on your school website, or if you have a Facebook group, maybe even something as simple as a joke of the day, just something to keep kids connected to you. You're the face of the school, and connected to the school as we lead through. I know a lot of us are going to online learning, so that's not going to be a big challenge, but just don't forget about those relationships. One of my favorite things was hosting a virtual spirit day, and that was fun too. And again, I know that we are all about taking care of other people as school leaders, but one of the biggest things you have to remember during this time is you have to take care of yourself. Here at Franklin-Covey, we call that sharpening the saw, habit 7. And I have some ideas for you, some things that you can do. I'm just gonna flip my screen for a second. Okay, so right now you should be able to see my screen that says habit 7, sharpen the saw, take care of yourself. Um, so I just want you to take a look at this list. This is just to, spark some ideas. But as we leaders go and try to take care of everybody else, lots of times we're dealing with, some pretty negative things, and we're trying to solve some problems. So it's important to, number one, not only keep our mindset positive, but it's also important to sort of decompress during the end of the day and transition to our home life. I know that was a big challenge for me. I would always take the weight of the world home with me from work. But a couple of the things that really helped me was, number one, sounds silly, but just having a playlist of those songs that you just love, and either just kind of fire you up or motivate you, or really just help you change your mindset. That was a big one for me. I was known to kind of close my door and just do a quick dance party when I was having a tough day. And even watching a movie, movies really transform your minds, or reading a book. It really kind of just takes you right out of reality, and with the reality of things that you're dealing with right now in this crisis. It's really important for you to just have some tools to use to not only help set your mindset a glass half full, but also to sort of transition you back into life with your family, your kids, your friends, the people that need your emotional support at home as well. Okay. Another thing that was really important, and I think will be even more important in what we're dealing with now, is as we're transitioning to online learning, and some areas are having to shelter in place, is really making a schedule for yourself, and trying to keep that schedule as close to what your daily schedule would be, as if you were in the building or if you were at work. Um, that will give you just a feeling of confidence and calm and peace and normality, which again will just help you be a little more prepared to sort of lead in these turbulent times. But it will also help you stay a little more on track and productive. We talk a lot about living in the whirlwind here at FranklinCovey, and as principals, I remember I certainly lived in the whirlwind a lot of the time, in quadrant 1, and that's where we really talk about the things that are urgent and important. The things that we have to deal with. As things are changing with the governor of our state, and they're closing things down, and um, they're changing things to online learning and budget. We're dealing with a lot of Q1 topics for sure. But the more that you have a schedule and you schedule in your Q2 activities, and those are the things of, really developing systems, being proactive, beginning with end in mind, just really making sure that you have your schedule of your big rocks, the things that are most important. You want to build in time to make sure that you get that video done to put up on your website so you can connect with your families. You want to build in time to connect with your staff members. You want to keep those relationships going. Maybe scheduling a 1 hour a day Google Hangout, just so you guys, maybe you're not even talking shop. Maybe you're just checking in, or maybe you make a schedule to check in with, 3 to 5 staff members a day. Maybe it be by email or text message. But scheduling these things in that are your priorities, yes, you're still going to have to deal with the Q1 activities and the things that pop up that are urgent and important. But by having a scheduling in the important things, that's going to help you be more productive and really reach your goals as a leader, and not just dealing with what we have in the whirlwind. And that's okay. Schedules are going to get thrown off every once in a while. Just make your schedule for the next day and try again. And then finally, honestly, I will say this is probably the biggest thing that helped me lead through crisis when my schools were closed during the fire, was really just leading with transparency. Whenever I was making a decision, I was explaining the why behind my decision. Whenever it was a hard decision, I would say it was a hard decision. I really had to dig deep to find that bravery to lead in a vulnerable way, but also lead in a very transparent way. You're going to make some decisions that are out of your control, that are kind of pushed down from other people. They're not going to make your staff members always happy. It's not going to make your parents and students always happy. But really what I learned through that tough time was, if I was vulnerable, if I was transparent, if I was real, like, change is hard. This is not fun, and I'm so sorry we're going through this, but here are the things that I can do to support you. I can't control this, but here's what I can do. And if you think there's anything, a better way we can handle this, or you have any suggestions, I'm open to it. And that was another big thing that I got, not only from my staff, but my parents, that they really appreciated, because they knew that I wasn't just making decisions on the fly. I wasn't making decisions that were easiest for me. And when the hard decisions needed to be made, they knew why. And they could see my care and my compassion and my love for my staff and my students and my family. So again, I hope this was helpful for you. I really feel for our school leaders out there. You are on the front lines, helping keep our communities going, and helping keeping our kids learning and connected. So thank you for who you are and what you do. And I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions at all, or even you just want to talk through some things, again, I've been through it, not anything as severe as this, but I certainly was close for a few weeks and it was challenging. Please feel free to reach out to me at jennifer.duston@franklincovey.com. Thanks, and have a great day.